This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by move.freestateproject.org. Move.freestateproject.org.
Well, I'm here with Edward Murdow from the Department of Education in New Hampshire, and I appreciate you being willing to talk to me. The question I have, I guess you're here to oppose the recent changes in the law, I guess, to take it kind of where it was before, that you can get out of public school at age 16 if your parents submit. Why are you against it?
That's correct. Well, first of all, the change is only 2 years old, and we really haven't had enough time to see the results, but our sense of things anecdotally is that the change has been a good thing, and we've kept students in school to get a high school diploma, which we know is important to success in adult life. And schools have invested a great deal in alternative paths to graduation. I think there may be a sense that changing the law to 18 made kids stay in school who didn't want to be there and were disruptive to the other students and so forth. But the trick has been to give them educational programs that fit their needs, that fit their likes, and I think we've been very successful in doing that. Certainly there are numerous cases of that around the state, individual students that have done really wonderful things in these programs that have allowed them to get a high school diploma and then in some cases go on to college, go into the military and so forth. I know the first year I was visiting a high school with a commissioner, and there were a number of students who had dropped out and had come back to school because that first year there were kids that were caught in between that had been 16 but weren't yet 18, so they had to come back to school, and a number of them came up to her afterwards saying that that was the best thing that could have happened to them, that they got back in school and they got into programs and now they were going to be successful in doing whatever it was that they wanted to do.
Well, I just came out of a hearing. I was watching the one on bullying, which you may have been watching before, just listening to some of the horror stories about things that people have had to go through in New Hampshire government schools. So is it right to force kids to be in there?
Well, I think it's important to our society that we have people reach adulthood prepared to be good citizens, productive citizens, and so forth. It's we have to have some sense that that's the case, and I think the evidence is out there that without a high school diploma, that they do have difficulty making it in the world. Not that it's impossible, not that there aren't cases out there where people have done extraordinary things, but by and large, in general, on average, however you want to express it, high school diploma is very important to success in adult life, and we need to do that. And we also need to recognize that everybody learns differently, and the one-size-fits-all approach in schools is not the right answer, and we need to change the schools to do that. It's not so much that the kids don't want to be in school, they don't want to be in what they're used to, perhaps, or what they perceive to be the school, so we need to adjust and try to meet their needs better, and the schools are doing that now.
How about the extra expense to taxpayers, though, forcing them to pay for more, teenagers going to school for more years?
I'm not sure I'm the person that can really comment on that. I mean, that's a state decision. I mean, the populace of the state to do that. But
well, you are trying to influence the state decision.
Yeah, well, this is true. Again, our interest is what we've seen as the result of getting a high school diploma and how important that is, and our sense certainly is that that's where people should be at.
All right. Well, Mr. Moto may not agree with you, but I appreciate your accessibility answering some relatively tough questions.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Take care. Well, now I'm sitting here, actually kneeling here, with, and what's your name?
Alyssa Willett.
Alyssa, and you're a public school student right now? Or?
Yep. A student in the JAG program.
The what?
The JAG program, Jobs for America's Graduates.
Oh, okay. And you're here to oppose this bill that would let folks leave the school when they're 13, when they're 16, with their parents' permission. Why are you against the bill?
Because I growing up, I know if I had the bill that if I was 16 I could leave, that I would have left. I had straight Fs. I didn't care about school. I just wanted to go out and have fun. And I am so grateful that I didn't have a law that let me get out at 16. I'm not old enough at 16 to know what I want or what I want to do. And now that I'm 18, I have straight A's. I'm glad that I stayed in school. I have goals set for myself. I know I'm going to be successful. And letting kids choose if they want to leave school at 16, it makes no sense. What does that do for like the entire nation? That's not helping people by letting kids choose when they want to leave school.
I guess my concern would be, though, that the law as it currently states, it's currently written, almost forces 16 and 17-year-olds to be in school. Is the use of force appropriate for something like this?
Well, it's not really forcing. It's what's best for it's what's best for the children. Where are the children going to be if they don't have an education? And education's what gets you somewhere someday. And if the kids aren't being educated, it's making the whole nation, not even just the state, the whole nation look bad. Because we all need the education to take us further in our lives. And it makes us get better jobs and be able to provide for our children in the future. And you need education. Education isn't like a question. It should be forced, because that's what children need. They're not old enough to decide if they want to be in school or not.
All right. Well, I appreciate your intellectual honesty. I'm sure they're going to listen to you.
Thank you.
Are you a Free Stater who has moved to New Hampshire? If so, please make sure you've informed the Free State Project. Make sure you count on our Made the Move counter. That counter on our website needs to keep rising. That can only happen if you officially let us know you're here. Help us counter the skeptics who say it can't be done. Show the world you've already done it. Email moved@freestateproject.org. Moved@freestateproject.org. Moved@freestateproject.org.